All right, it's time now for the game preview presented by Ticketmaster here with head coach Kevin Stefanski. Kevin, a tough loss, some injuries, and some new additions. How is the team regrouping after week 4?
Like you always do in the NFL, you got to get ready for the next one. And obviously, the next one is the most important one. We, as a football team, you really can't look behind, whether it's a win, lose, or draw. You have to keep your focus forward, and that's what we're doing.
On the road again, this one a little bit longer than a bus trip to Detroit, heading across the pond to take on the Minnesota Vikings, your former team, for the organization's first international game since 2017. So when you think of international travel and that schedule, how does the preparation maybe change this week?
Well, as you can imagine, first of all, it's a privilege to play in these games, and as you can imagine, we have a great group here that makes things very easy for us as coaches and players. We just kind of get on the bus, and then the bus gets to the airplane, and we get on the airplane. So we don't have to do all the work that goes behind it, and there's an amazing amount of work that goes behind it. So fortunately for us, we'll have a really good practice here in Berea on Wednesday. We'll get there Thursday morning, have some walkthroughs, have some meetings, have a practice, and then really Friday kicks into another normal Friday, quote unquote. I know we're a couple time zones ahead, but we'll try to keep this as normal as possible and understand that that's what you have to do in these weeks. You have to really lean on your preparation and lean on your work.
The Vikings get to stay overseas coming off that game in Ireland. So when you look at their preparation, how do you think Kevin O'Connell will have his Vikings ready to take you guys on?
Right, that was something we saw when the schedule came out that was that they were going to do. You know, we've always looked at when to go in. Some teams go in very early, some teams go in very late. I don't know if there's one way to do it. We feel really confident that we'll have the amount of time necessary to get our players ready.
All right, we'll start with their offense. Looks like J.J. McCarthy's dealing with an ankle injury, so Carson Wentz is their guy. What do you have to do to prepare for him under center?
Well, we've played against Carson before. He's obviously an extremely talented player, has won a lot of football games in this league. So he can get it done, particularly when you look at the playmakers that they have on that offense. So he can spread the ball around. Obviously, Justin Jefferson's the headliner, and he's a great player, but they have a bunch of different receivers, a tight end, running backs you have to be on top of your game because they can go.
We'll talk about those receivers. You mentioned Justin Jefferson, he's the staple, but they have Jordan Addison back in the mix, Adam Thielen there. What makes them maybe unique than other receiving corps?
It's a great group, as you mentioned them, Cam. Obviously, Justin Jefferson can do it all. He can line up outside, inside. There's every route in the book. He can make contested catches. He can run away from you. He's good with the ball in his hands. Addison is speed. He's really fast, can move. They put him on a couple different routes to get him down the field. And Adam Thielen, somebody I know really well, very crafty, still doing it at an extremely high level.
Two guys we didn't mention is their tight ends, Josh Oliver, TJ Hawkinson. So how do the Vikings use their tight ends as someone who's familiar with kind of how they do things?
Yeah, they do a nice job. They're in quite a bit of 11, and then when they're not in 11, they're in 12 to put those two tight ends in the field. They're really good. Hawkinson has done it at a high level for a long time. He really is good in both the run and the pass. Oliver's another guy that can really hurt you in both phases, and they're smart about how they use those guys.
Speaking of the run, obviously their offensive line is a little bit banged up. They have Jordan Mason back there. What kind of looks do you expect them to do in their run game, and how do you prepare for that?
Yeah, he's a very talented running back. In San Francisco, you saw a lot of the wide zone that he excelled at. They use that in Minnesota as well, so that plays to his strengths. And then they're a big screen team. They can get the ball to all their guys in the perimeter as well.
All right, we'll flip things around. Your offense, big news of the week. Dylan Gabriel has been named your starting quarterback. Joe Flacco is his backup. What went into that decision, and what are you expecting from your rookie in his first NFL start?
Yeah, as you know, Cam, I don't take those decisions lightly. I want to think about what's best for our football team. Obviously, I think very highly of Joe, and he's going to continue to be a leader for this football team. That's why he was voted a captain by his teammates. So it's tough news for any competitive person, but he's going to make sure he's available to his guys all week. And then for Dylan, he's a young player. He has a lot of experience from his college days that I think he can lean on, but he's been working very hard for a moment like this.
Talk about the injuries to an offensive line. You guys are no stranger to that. Some new pieces in the mix too. So how are you preparing with those pieces, moving parts, and their pass rush with, we'll say, Jonathan Grenard, because Andrew Van Ginkel might be hurt, right? So how do you prepare for that challenge?
Yeah, it's day to day. So we'll work different combinations. We'll see who's healthy by the end of the week, see what Cam Robinson can pick up. Obviously just getting here, so need to get him up to speed. So we'll work through that. Like always, we have options. I feel good about our options. And then like you mentioned, it's a very, very good pass rush unit. And it's not just a 4-down rush. It can come in a multitude of ways.
Protecting the ball is always important. their secondary, Harrison Smith, Isaiah Rodgers. How much of a challenge will it be for Dylan to make sure that he's making those right throws and eliminating the potential for turnovers?
Well, they led the league in takeaways last season, including the most interceptions in the NFL. So they're very visual on the quarterback. They break on the ball. So it really is incumbent on the entire offense to do their job, be where you're supposed to be, and then ultimately the quarterback has that decision maker to make great decisions.
Dylan's going to get to work with a lot of these rookies who've been standout early in this season. How much do you lean on that connection that he was able to make in rookie minicamp, training camp, all throughout the summer when he enters this game?
I think that's so important for our quarterbacks to get reps with all of our guys. It's something where when you're out at practice, you may be throwing to one guy in a drill, and then when that drill's over, you'll go off to the side and throw with another guy. So you're constantly getting work with your guys.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Safe travels to London and good luck on Sunday.
Thanks, Cam.